Hey, what's up, guys? Good afternoon. Another wonderful day here in Murrieta, California. I'm Charles Van Mediva, Patriot Pacific Financial Corp. I'm here with none other than the one and only Maurice Watkins.
Me again.
Team leader and broker of the Warriors Group. You guys are out of Temecula, right?
We are.
House in Temecula.
We are.
So we're coming together today because Maurice is heavily invested in the business of helping military buyers and owners. And I've got a few questions for him. And as I understand it, you got a few questions for me, too.
I do. So we're welcoming Charles Van Mediva again. We're in his spot today, so I want to interview him. We're doing something a little different. I'm going to interview him, and he's going to ask me some questions as well.
Let's do it.
And so we'll get started. So, Charles, let's
Yes.
get right into it. So I wanted to know, because I don't know your background, right? Mm-hmm. How did you get started in this business as it relates to veterans? Yeah.
Great question. So I've been in the business since 1997.
Uh-huh.
I had a full head of hair when I got in.
97. Wow. 25 years.
And, you know, in that time, of course, I did all kinds of loans, right? FHA, conventional, USDA, VA, the whole thing. About 2013, I somehow began to, I don't want to say stumble into, but I somehow got into this arena where I had a spate of very, very tough VA loans where they had been shot down by credit unions or other brokers or banks or what have you. Mm-hmm. And so for whatever reason, I just said, let's just roll up my sleeves and let's just get this done. Mm-hmm. As I dug a little deeper, you know, overturned some stones, asked for more stuff, and got some incredibly tough loans funded. Mm-hmm. And guess what happened, Maurice? The floodgates opened up.
Nice.
And you know more than most people, the military community is very closely knit. Mm-hmm. One person tells the other person, and the trust was given to me, and then the floodgates opened up.
So long story short, so the VA was pretty much getting disapproved in the area, and you figured out how to get these veterans into homes.
Some, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what I found was a lot of VA loans that the VA was okay with, right? The guidelines were okay with them, but the underwriter at this particular bank was not.
Got it.
And so what I had to do was roll up my sleeves and say, let's take the true raw VA guidelines and put them in front of an underwriter that'll say, yeah, I'll go with that.
Got it. Okay.
And that takes a little bit of skill, a little bit of
Got
expertise.
it. A little bit of skill. They got the right man for the job,
And sometimes the gloves have to come off.
Got it.
And you got to get ready to fight. And that's what I did.
Got it. So it sounds like you've been doing a lot of fighting because you've been doing a lot of VA loans, right?
Yes.
So with that being said, I mean, because it sounds like it's a lot of work. What motivates you to keep doing this? I mean, you're 25 years in right now.
I don't know, Maurice. The only thing, and this is not a cliche, but I got to tell you, there's some gratification that comes from putting someone into a home that has two traits. Number one, they served the country. They did something that I didn't do. I didn't serve in the military. I didn't make that sacrifice. So for me, it brings great gratification to help someone that did.
Nice.
And the second trait is that person got told, no, you can't get into a home, at least not right now. So for me to come in and flip the switch and make it happen for that person and the look in their eyes, a lot of times it was tears. I mean, we're talking grown men crying because, you know, they just got put into a process where they're going to begin building equity, change their lives.
Got it.
Those two things have always motivated me.
Man, that is powerful. And I've actually been at some of these times when Charles comes out with us to deliver keys, and he's right. Grown men, grown women crying. It's a beautiful thing to see somebody get a house.
Because it means so much to them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't want to get into statistics and bore you guys, but the stats show that homeowners do better in life than renters.
That's the truth.
Kids do better academically. It's proven by HUD.
That's the truth.
So what you're doing, Maurice, is when you put somebody into a home, you're creating generational wealth.
Yeah.
You're not just changing that person's life. You're changing that family's life, their kids, grandkids.
So it's bigger than a house.
I got to ask you. I watched your business balloon, for want of a better word, mushroom. What is it that you're doing that is so efficient and impactful when it comes to military buyers?
I'll tell you what, I've always been interested in education. I'm a knowledge junkie. I literally read every day, right? And I love to share the information I get. This kind of weird reward on the inside. I guess you could say it's an intrinsic reward when I share that information. And I share that information so passionately to where I think a lot of people just grasp it. And as a result, those people trust me and they count on me to help them out. So I think that's my unique thing,
Man,
just being able to
that
reach
is
people.
So profound.
Yeah.
I got to stop right there because a lot of what you see in our business on the real estate side and the lending side is shiny shoes, the fanciest car, the biggest billboard sign.
You're right.
And look at me, I'm so great. I make so much money. It's not about serving and educating.
Right.
Obviously, what you're doing is different.
Man, you got to educate them because the biggest thing is having an understanding. I mean, you can read paragraphs off all day long and read stuff to people, but making them understand it, I think that's truly a gift that God gave to me, is making people understand things and breaking it down to the lowest common denominator to where they can really understand and say, oh, that's how I do it. And then years later or a year later, man, you did this for my family. That's the real reward for me, is helping a family. It's not just about the house. Like you said, it's about generational wealth and being able to help that family. That's the real reward for me.
So we're talking about educating and training, and basically what you're telling me is you're equipping military people to buy homes.
With the information early. Not late like I was. I was a dinosaur by the time I learned this, right? I had been in the Marine Corps maybe 15 years by the time I got this information. Yeah. So I made it a point, because I felt so misguided in the process by the lenders, the agent, and really they were probably doing the best job they could, but I just felt ignorant about it because I didn't know what I was doing. And then as I became an agent, I saw some steps that they could have taken on my behalf, and I said, you know what, I'm going to make it my point to make sure that I get out here and I give the real information and break it down to the lowest common denominator, because I know there's other people out here like me that feel like this. So I want to make sure no one feels like this on my watch.
In your day-to-day activities in your business, do you see veterans being taken advantage of by those that are out to sell, make a buck? Do you see that?
We've been seeing that since, and they warn us about stuff like that going through boot camp. You go outside that gate. They say, hey, when you go out that's outside that gate, good luck, because you got car salesmen out there, you got real estate agents, you got people selling you, ice cream, movies, everything. They're all trying to get veterans money. So they always tell us to make sure that we look out for those people. So I wanted to make sure that I was on the other side of that when I got out of the military, that I didn't become one of those people.
Let me ask you this. I'm a civilian. I didn't serve. But over time, I found a way to earn the trust of a military buyer, right? Which has paid off great dividends. You're a veteran, right? Do you have an advantage over someone else that does what you do, a real estate agent, because you served and because you were a vet? Does that give you an advantage?
I don't think that alone gives us an advantage, because I feel like when you have people out there, whether it's veterans or non-veterans, and they're taking advantage of people, that they don't last long in this business. I think that if you're good at what you do and you're genuinely taking care of people like yourself, you're going to last in this business. But when you have those people out there that are out for one thing, they're not going to last in this business, right? And that's probably why you've been able to prosper so long, because you came with it from the heart. Everybody that's not coming from their heart.
How important is, you're doing these classes, you're training on the phone, you're training by email, you're training by text message, you're training by holding events. How important, in a nutshell, is home ownership to a military person?
I would say that I think it's the most important. Right.
The most important thing.
I think it's the most important because you're really deciding where you get to live, what schools your kids get to go to, what type of generational wealth that you're going to have in the future based on the house that you chose. And it's I hate to say it, but finance is the foundation of a lot of people's families, right? You want to make sure that your finances are in order. And I can't think of a stock, a bond, or a crypto that's better than real estate. Real estate has been proven over time to always appreciate and help families. If you run the stats, you'll see real estate trumps everything every time.
I had an interesting thought as you were talking, right? The divorce rate, as I understand it, amongst veterans is significantly higher than the civilian population. That is a proven fact. And one of the taking that a little bit further, one of the main causes of divorce is money trouble, money problems.
Right. Yeah.
I have to ask, and I have to wonder, having wealth created by means of equity in a home, sometimes overnight, I wonder if that, do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Does that have a long-term impact on the ability for families to stay together instead of parting ways?
I think so. If you're in a family, and I was one of those military families when I came up, my first marriage, we were okay financially, but I'd imagine a lot of the people that I was around, they had some serious financial issues. And if they had some equity in their house, that would have solved like literally 100% of their financial problems.
You said a lot right there.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, how do you see things? I mean, we're in a very interesting time. We're recording this early 2022. Interest rates are up. Inventory's down. We got a war going on. How do you see the landscape of military home ownership changing, if at all, in the next 6, 8, 12 months, 24 months?
Well, I would say this. I would say that the prices are going to be a little higher, right? I think those rates are going to be a little bit higher. I don't foresee a crash. I'm not an economist by no means, and I don't have a crystal ball to know what's going to happen. But based on the history of since I've been in this business, I'm thinking that you need to buy a house now because these prices are just going to go up and these rates are going to continue to go up. And if you're one of those people that want to wait 10 years, good luck. The house is probably going to be doubled by then. So I think, military home buyers need to get in now because right now it's getting to a point to where, some military people can't afford a house. Not here anyway.
One of the things that I'm trying to instill, I run the company, Patriot Pacific Financial Corp, right here in Marietta. We're in the middle of getting licensed in 7 other states at the moment. One of the things I struggle with is instilling in our loan officers the mindset to fight for the deal. You know what I mean? Because it's easy. Someone comes to you as a cookie cutter deal. They've got 20% down. They got 800 FICO scores or whatever. You don't have to have a lot of skill to make that deal work. Right. You click a few buttons, it's done for you. Right. But you have a veteran come to you with past life challenges, made some mistakes, they screwed up or whatever. They went on deployment, forgot about a bunch of bills or whatever, and now nobody wants to talk to them. They got a stable job, but they don't have anyone fighting for them. I want to instill in our loan officers the mindset of fighting for the deal, right. And then expand that culture in all these other states. That
would be awesome because many times I know I've ran into this before to where that loan officer may know the agent on the other side. Right. And they can really fight for these veterans and really do some things for these veterans. And I'm talking to the agents out there, too. We really need you guys to fight for us right now because I'm telling you right now, veterans, we need homes, too. We matter, too. Right. We want homes just as much as anybody else. And I know the veterans aren't coming in with $100,000 down, $300,000 down. We don't have that kind of money. But what we do have is skin in the game because we've been in Afghanistan, we've been in Iraq, we've sacrificed our lives, we put blood on the battlefield for you. So I'm asking all of you guys to help fight for us, including the loan officers. Fight for us out there because we want a house too. So
that's a huge topic. That's a whole nother video, which is, dealing with misconceptions, misinterpretations, misunderstanding in the real estate community that's going unchecked. Yeah. Because no one's educating and people aren't afraid. And so you got sellers and agents automatically assuming, hey, this guy's got 100% financing. He's got no skin in the game, supposedly. Right. He's not a strong buyer. Yeah, I'm sure you're running across that.
Yeah, all the time. And I tell them the same answer. I left my skin on the battlefield. So did the veteran. Wow. Right, that's my skin in the game.
Good info, Maurice. Yeah. I know you guys, and Maurice is growing his team. I've watched the Warriors group just grow leaps and bounds even in the last 12 months. You guys have multiplied your business. And it's an honor to be working with you.
Hey, it's an honor to work with this guy. I vouch for this guy. This guy has been like a angel in my corner the entire time. I vouch for Charles Van Mediva and his entire team. They run a great shop. Go see them, please, because they're really honestly taking care of veterans out here.
Thank you for your kind words. How do they get a hold of you? They want some help represented.
Information at the bottom of the screen, 760-207-8719. Maurice the Marine Realtor on Instagram, Maurice Watkins on Facebook.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. And I don't know what you're doing after this, but I'm sure it's going to involve putting someone into a home.
Exactly. All right. Thanks so much, Charles. Appreciate it.
We'll see you on the next one.
That's a wrap.
Take care.
Cheers.